Seconds away. Magic Johnson, as you know, has stepped down as president of basketball operations for the Lakers. Impromptu press conference tonight before their game with the Blazers. Magic did say, we're moving in the right direction. If I didn't think we were, I wouldn't have stepped down.
And as promised, Stephen A. Smith now on SportsCenter. And Stephen A., I don't know if you got the news from a tweet or from a source or however, but just give me your initial reaction when it hit your ears. Magic Johnson's quit the Lakers.
Stunned at the timing. Stunned at the timing because it's the last game of the regular season. It's before the Lakers played their home game, which means that you suspected there was going to be, if not LeBron James himself, but whether it's Jeanie Buss or somebody else that may have been in the facility at that particular moment in time, the heat was definitely going to be aimed in their direction because Magic Johnson quit. And Magic Johnson is not a quitter. So why would all of a sudden he elect to do this? Remember, he made that statement prior to last summer and acquiring LeBron James. In other words, what he was saying is, if I can't get a marquee talent here, then obviously I'm not doing my job, and I'll step away. Nobody will have to push me away. Well, if you've acquired LeBron James, universally recognized as the best player in the game, at least before his injury, why would all of a sudden you decide to walk away unless you believe that you couldn't get him any help, you couldn't hire the coach that you wanted to hire, you couldn't get rid of the GM you may have wanted to get rid of? We don't know. I do know this. You didn't only hear about Magic Johnson wanting to get rid of Luke Walton and his coaching staff by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, by the way. But you also heard that he probably wanted to get rid of Rob Pelinka, the general manager. Now, I spoke to Jeanie Buss and Rob Pelinka. They categorically and emphatically denied any such thing whatsoever. But what they're going to have to deal with is the scuttlebutt that's circulating around NBA circles and has been circulating for the last couple of weeks, is that Magic Johnson didn't only just want to go in a different direction pertaining to the coach, he wanted to do so with the GM. We got to pay attention to what's going on and see what the fallout is.
Jeanie Buss did not seem to be offended that she was not told in person by Magic that it was this press conference. Kind of hits me wrong. How do you feel about not going to the office and telling the boss I'm done?
I think that I don't believe Magic Johnson. And I don't want to call him a liar. That would be derogatory and disrespectful towards him. But I do believe in this particular case pertaining to Jeanie Buss, there was an elevated level of frustration, and that is why he did not communicate face-to-face to Jeanie Buss. I don't believe because he loves her so much and she's like a sister to him. That's why he didn't tell her. That's usually a reason why you prioritize telling somebody to their face as opposed to having a press conference. So that's just my personal belief, and I also think it speaks to it gives credence to the level of frustration that has been circulating as it pertains to Magic Johnson and what he was feeling about the coach and the GM. We're going to know more tomorrow and the day after. Because if Luke Walton still keeps his job, then we're going to know there was some disagreement here. Because I'm here to tell you, Luke Walton was gone. The coaching staff was gone. It's a given. I'm telling you what I know. They were done. All right? Then you've got Rob Pelinka. And it depends on who you believe. Do you believe that Magic Johnson was going to get rid of a GM, that people have been going behind Rob Pelinka's back, in fairness to Rob Pelinka, who was an accomplished agent, represented Kobe Bryant for years? He's an individual that was respected but sincerely and deeply disliked by some people. This is a guy that has been, people have talked about him being at Lakers facilities and asking, where's Magic, where's Magic, where's Magic? And it was like a running joke because Magic was almost never around. At least that was the perception that was trying to be put out there. We don't know how much accuracy there is to these reports, but what we do know is that it's been talked about for months. And Rob Pelinka, falsely or not, has been accused of doing these kind of things. If he keeps his job and Luke Walton keeps his job, then you know that had something to do with Magic Johnson's willingness to walk away. Because at least when it pertains to the coach, he clearly was going to make that change.
Stephen A. Smith in Los Angeles. Plenty of debate, including if he left the Lakers better than he found them 2.5 years ago. Thanks, Stephen A.
I was on my way on vacation. I stopped it for this and for First Take tomorrow. I'll be ready.
I'll dedicated. See y'all later. Thanks, brother. This is Lakers president, and he has what? LeBron James to show for it, and that is about it. Because in his 2 years plus, the Lakers did not make the playoffs. He basically admitted the job isn't for him. He likes fun, likes basketball, likes talking about basketball. And the job is hard and time-consuming, and there are fines when you talk about other players and other teams. Rachel Nichols with Earvin Johnson. Done.
You just shocked everyone. Did you see everyone's faces when you stood up there and then said that sentence and said, I am stepping down as president of basketball operations?
Well, I'm happy, though, you know, and I'm happy that I came to this decision and I can go back being Magic Johnson. So I just had to get back to being me.
Do you think you owed it to Jeanie to tell her first?
I wouldn't be here doing this. Because I know her, we would have cried and I would have felt guilty and I would have stayed.
So you told us first because you didn't want her to talk you out of it?
Yeah, exactly. And she can understand that.
Do you feel that you are leaving Jeanie or the Lakers or LeBron in a lurch a little bit?
No,
that you
no.
said you were going to be here for at least another year?
No, I think that, you know, LeBron signed because he saw that the Lakers were building something special. He could be a part of that. He's still going to be a part of that. We're going to be back in the Western Conference Final next year if the right player come and then the right role player come.
You mentioned when you were talking to the group that you were sick of the backstabbing. What did you mean?
Well, you know.
A little bit. Give me a little bit.
No, I can't because that's not what we do here.
Do you feel it was within the organization, though?
It's around.
Okay. Okay.
It's around.
Okay, so the team got the message.
Gotcha.
They realized team president Magic Johnson, though he didn't tell anybody except holding the Zeus conference, any of his higher-ups, they got the word and then they released this statement. There's no greater Los Angeles Laker than Earvin Johnson. We are deeply grateful to Magic for all that he has done for our franchise as a player, an ambassador, and an executive. We thank him for his work these past 2 years as our president of basketball operations and wish him, Cookie, Andre, EJ, Elisa, all the best with their next steps. He will always be not only a Lakers icon, but our family. Magic, a man of many different roles there in LA as a player, 3-time MVP, 5-time NBA champ. LA won 74% of its games with Magic. In 93-94, he came back to Lakers as the coach. Team started strong, won 5 of its first 6, but they ended the season on a 10-game losing streak, and that was his career. 16 games on the bench, and then as president of basketball operations, listen, he traded off D'Angelo Russell. He let Julius Randle walk, both having career years. Unsuccessful trying to trade for Anthony Davis. Didn't get Paul George. Got LeBron, but after that, struggled.
And imagine being on the air when this news broke in Los Angeles. The man sharing the screen with me did just that. George Sedano hosted the Sedano Show on our great ESPN Los Angeles radio affiliate. All right, bottom line, news comes down, you're on the air. The listener reaction is?
Oh, Zubin, it was a lot of anger. It was shock, certainly. But there was a contingent as well that felt somewhat relieved even because it's been tough as Magic Johnson is the greatest Laker of all time to kind of watch him fumble through this particular job because he hasn't done it great really outside of landing LeBron James. The details haven't been good. And there's this notion that he's been kind of an absentee executive. So people want someone who is committed to the job and will be there day in and day out and grind.
You know, earlier today we spoke to some of your fellow NBA colleagues who all seem to indicate that the Lakers are run like a mom and pop shop in the sense that it's just a few people, it's a family-run organization. Now they have a decision to make, front office-wise. What are you hearing?
Well, look, I think that everything is up for grabs right now. Luke Walton was maybe going to be fired. I saw that Woj had reported that the staff expected that that was going to be the case. Who knows what's going to happen now? My guess is they're going to have to get somebody in charge and figure out what to do with the rest of the front office, including Rob Pelinka, and, of course, the coaching staff with Luke Walton. I think that all of this needs to be decided by Jeanie Buss. She is the ultimate decision maker here. She entrusted Magic Johnson. Clearly, he was not up for the job, and now she's going to have to make some tough decisions as to who to entrust this organization with to make those difficult decisions.
Real quick, last thing. What's the first order of business?
I would say the first order of business is getting another president of basketball operations. If I were doing the hiring, Zubin, I would go after David Griffin. You get a proven guy, unlike Magic and Rob, who are novices at this particular job, a guy who's got a track record, a great track record in Phoenix, an excellent track record in Cleveland where he won a championship with a guy named LeBron James who plays on the Los Angeles Lakers. I think that would be the guy that I would call first if I were Jeanie Buss.
Indeed, has championship experience. And as Jeanie said just last week, I will always defer to Magic. Time for a plan B, and George will be all over it with our listeners in Southern California. George, thanks.
You got it, Zubin.
All right, let's show you what's going on. Thunder Rockets are playoff teams where they fit in the West. Nobody's quite sure. Thunder down in OKC, 108-104, less than 30 to go. Russell Westbrook pulls up, bang. So now it's a 1-point game. James Harden, couple of free throws, back to 3. Westbrook, don't need the 3. He'll get the quick 2, throw it down. They trail by 1 again. Forced to foul. Harden makes the first. Second, no. Westbrook down 2. 7 seconds. Adams, Westbrook, Paul George. Come on now. Channel your inner UVA right there. That's just Virginia clutch in the remaining time there. Thunder up 1. So Houston got one last chance. 0.8 seconds remaining. How about this? Don't foul. Harden, not a bad look. No, bounces away. The Thunder. My goodness, what a return. Guess what? Westbrook, triple-double.
I'm a big dreamer. I think you got to dream in life to know what you want.
The Miami Heat, they've done it. They win their first championship in franchise history.
To me, it's still crazy when I walk around and I see people wearing my jersey, people wearing my shoes.
The Miami Heat are once again NBA champions.
Know that this moment might not ever come again. While you have it, cherish it.
The 2013 NBA championship resides once again in Miami.
I ain't got nothing left.
Before Dwayne Wade came along, the Miami Heat franchise was most famously known for a fight because they would brawl with the Knicks. Before Dwayne Wade came along, most people thought they actually knew how to spell Dwayne with the A between the W and the Y. Wade changed basketball in Miami and sports in South Florida. He managed to move Pat Riley into the background, surpassed Dan Marino. He made people leave the beach and the ocean to come inside for a game. He was so good, the bedrock of something so strong, that LeBron James made the decision to leave Cleveland and play with him. Tonight, Wade played at home for the final time in his magnificent career. Still trying to push the Heat for one more playoff appearance in their 16th season. Wade, all-time leader in games played, points, assists, steals, basically all of them. There's Wade's first regular season home game. That was October 31st, 2003 against the Pistons. Wade was 1 of 9 and had 4 points. Listen, you got to have somewhere to go. Now we're back in the moment in Tuesday. Wade, pregame, moment with his family and then with his extended family.
Y'all not about to make me cry before this game. So as this season's been about me, I've enjoyed this season with you guys, man. I got some brothers that will always be my brothers. I love you guys, man. All right? Heat Nation, thank you. Love you guys.
Wade, a little victory lap around the floor before the game started. That's just getting loose. At that age, you don't want to pull anything. Wade comes around the screen, gets the pass, and finishes with a dunk. And look at that one again as we see all the jerseys that he had exchanged throughout the course of the season. Got one from Steph and Vince Carter. Those guys combined age of 109. A couple of good fakes right there. Chris Paul, he got that one. At this point, the Heat are up 14. Wade uses a screen coming through and lays that one in. Wade, big first half. One more time. Zubin believes the guy's got more basketball in him if he wants to stay.
Couple more years.
Never know. Come out of retirement late. 14 points, 5 of 10 in the first half. Heat eliminated from the playoffs. They find out. Wade and Udonis Haslem check in. They played together for 15 seasons. Udi. Wade, you got one for 3 for me? Yeah, I got a little something for it if you want it. Wade now 21 points in this thing. A minute later, Wade, 16 seasons, we said. Most importantly, 3 championships. Kind of dragged Shaq to 1, right? Shaq will take credit, but in that NBA Finals, it was all about Wade.
No doubt.
He and LeBron and Bosh got a couple. I'll hit another one there.
You go.
Got it. Oh, yeah, the missus is there. Happy, his Wade up. He's going to go 30. So Dirk went 31, right,
yes,
in his retirement.
Yep.
And Wade's going to go home with 30. A pull-up right there, 122.99. And then he traded with all his boys.
That's cool.
All his dudes. Here's the man of the hour after his last 48 for the Heat. want to amend that after seeing the scores table jump? He's got time left.
It's got a good vertical. I'm buying it.
Wade, 30th all-time career scoring list in NBA history. He's one of 3 active players to score 20,000 points for one franchise, joining LeBron and Dirk. Wade has always been a two-way player, has the most career blocks by a guard since the stat became official. Asked Michael Jordan for that honor back in March. And Wade, he's got a scoring title, Finals MVP, All-Star MVP on his resume. Only 8 other players in NBA history can say that. He's one of the 8, including LeBron, Jordan, and Wilt. Different sort of 8. Just to see how much Wade has meant to the Heat through his time there. Again, 16 years. 5th player overall taken in the 2003 draft.
Yep.
Team's all-time leader in many things, including points, assists, steals, field goals, and titles. In fact, Wade by himself has scored close to 9% of the team's all-time points. That's well ahead of Ronnie Cycli.
The great Ronnie Cycli. So you mentioned him being in some company with Dirk and LeBron. Well, Dirk playing in possibly his final home game in Dallas. Some finality on that in a second. They're all the team employees, the hundreds he passed by over the years. Here's your starting lineup. How awesome was that? He isn't starting very much these days, but on a night like this, could be a swan song at home, you know he would be. Bang, get the arena on your feet with that shot. And then Dirk from downtown, he lit it up at the All-Star game. Did he his 3 second half of the season? The crowd is all into this. This is all Dirk. He's got the Mavs first 5. How about 7? That's the shot he invented and perfected. One more. Dirk scored the Mavs first 10 points. 21 years in the league, 14-time All-Star, 6th most points in NBA history, and look at the future of the Mavs. Loving it with the present, at least for the next several minutes.
He had a triple-double.
He was brought to tears, tribute video on his charity work. He's meant so much to the North Texas community. And then Harris finds Nowitzki from downtown. You can watch this baby on a loop, this fadeaway thing. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, been for 21 seasons.
Yep, off glass, still got it. They got a game tomorrow in San Antonio, but this is the one, right? They're not going to the playoffs. The Suns aren't going to the playoffs. Say goodbye at home and go out in style. Dirk from downtown, 4 threes in the first half. Apparently, he still got it in the second half. But look at this. Skying before the start of the quarter. He still got some ups. Showing it all. And then Powell to Nowitzki. Took him 31 shots to get 30 points, but on a night like this, if you don't pass it back to Nowitzki, you got a problem.
Yeah.
Doncic, look at how excited Doncic is. It's awesome. And then obviously next year with Porzingis coming in, maybe he can take over for Nowitzki, and maybe they'll get another title. Obviously that man led him to their first. I mean, look at that. It's like an automatic after all these years. Unbelievable. All the greats there, Barkley, Pippen, Larry Bird, Sean Kemp was even there to celebrate Dirk's legacy in a Mavs win. And after the game, listen to the praise head coach Rick Carlisle gave this guy as a Dallas sports icon.
Let's give a big Dallas round of applause for the greatest athlete in the history of Dallas, Dirk Nowitzki.
As you guys might expect, this was my last home game. Yeah. I put you guys on a hell of a ride with a lot of ups and downs, and you guys always stuck with me and supported me, so I appreciate it. And it's been an amazing ride, and thank you guys so much for coming out. You know, I'll never be gone. I'll stay here. This is my new home with my wife and my kids. You know, I left Germany over 20 years ago, and I became a Texan, so thank you guys for having me, and we'll see you soon.
Draw yet. Doesn't have a draw.
Unbelievable.
Carlisle say best Dallas athlete or best German Dallas athlete?
He said the former, so if Staubach or somebody else might be watching.
Smith or, yeah, Tony Dorsett. It could be a guys. But NBA was crazy. We've got Magic stepping away. We saw Dirk. We saw Wade. We've got to show you Steph Curry roll his ankle. And we haven't even gotten to the 8th spot in the East yet.
Stephen A. is also on the way when we continue tonight on SportsCenter.
Crazy good stuff.